lineup. So for Team Cleary coach Ben Stanley, you've got Lindsey Cleary, the captain, Faye Dean, Megan Dorney. Plenty of names on there to put on a show. On the other side of the court, coaching Team Shabrawy is coach Lauren Milligan from the London Lions. Alia Shabrawy, she'll be captaining ahead of Leah Forster, Fatma Sajana and Rochelle Walton. It's a loaded lineup on both sides of the court. Just under 10 minutes to tip off. It's getting exciting. We're getting a good feel. God, I can't wait for the first game to go.
Yeah, you can really feel it in the air that the game's, about to begin. Everyone's waiting in anticipation. They really just want to get this game going and see these, these NBL stars, just doing their thing on the hardwood today and, just balling out.
100%. One person I can't wait, and we haven't mentioned her enough, is Alia Shabrawy from Egypt. She's been injured the last couple times that the Rebound All-Stars has happened. She gets her chance to captain her own team today. She was an MVP candidate. She's going to go out there and wants to show that she should have been the MVP.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait to go see her.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing her as well. As you mentioned, she was supposed to be an All-Star captain last year, but unfortunately, was injured, couldn't take part in the actual game. So should have been waiting for this game, twice as long as any other player has been waiting for this game. And she'll be really looking forward to it. She's third in efficiency in the WNBL. She's, as you mentioned, an MVP candidate. She was in the team of the year.
Yeah.
So she's really a player to watch out for.
100%. Yeah.
Exciting.
Great leader from Loughborough. She's been up for it all day. She took part in the skills contest earlier, got beaten by Faye Dean on the other side, who should be going up against today, but she's been loving it today. She's been running around and energetically giving her teammates love. So she's going to be enjoying it. She's going to go out there and really try and show what she's made of, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned it there. She's really been taking on that leadership role today. We have seen her, showing that sportsmanship and cheering on her teammates. And as you mentioned, she did bow out at the earlier skills contest to Faye Dean. But hey, that's not easy competition with Faye Dean, so that's nothing on her. But I have no doubts about it that she will be coming into this All-Star game, and she's going to put things right, and she's going to do her thing. She's going to ball out.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think Alia Shabrawy could be a crucial point in almost assisting her teammates. She's going to be that leader, and I think she's going to take charge and probably be handing the ball off a lot to the likes of Olivia Forster or Fatma Sajana, because they are some of the best shooters in the league, and Shabrawy is a great assister, so I think she will almost be that sort of midfield player, sitting back, offloading the ball about. So I think that may be her role, even though she is an incredible shooter herself. I think we could see her racking up a lot of assists today.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And again, Alia Shabrawy, her biggest performances this season twice.
Nearly getting taken
We're
out.
too close to the action. But it just shows how hard they're playing, how hard they're training.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. But I will make sure that I'm stood at a much safer distance when the game begins. Yeah. But as I was saying about Alia Shabrawy, she twice this season posted 25 points in a game. So she's someone who turns up to big occasions, and she's definitely going to be licking her lips at this today.
It's going to be interesting to see. I do wonder with that team, with so many of the best shooters, are they going to be selfish? Obviously, everyone wants to put on a show, but is that team of Shabrawy is going to be a bit selfish and get too many shots, and then you can have the likes of Megan Dorney on the other side, get the rebound, throw it up the other end to teammate Faye Dean, and that's how team clearly are going to win. So is that going to happen? I'm not sure. Wait to find out.
Yeah, we can't be sure, but what we can be sure of is it's going to be entertaining. And hey, I'm not going to complain if they want to start throwing up some three-pointers for long range.
So I think we can throw up to our commentator, John. John, I'm not sure if you can hear us. We are about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Not sure if they can hear us. John and the rest of the crew in the commentating box. We've got 5 minutes to kick off. What are your thoughts ahead? 5 minutes to tip off, sorry. What's your thoughts of what's going to be happening?
I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic spectacle, the second annual Women's All-Star Game here at the Solent Sports Complex. Team Alia Shabrawy against Team Cleary, and I'm joined by Annie Scanlon and Chrissy Karpova, 2 All-Stars in their own right. Of course, Chrissy Karpova took part here last season, and a 3-time medal winner this year in Annie Scanlon, playing a total of 55 seconds. That takes some beating, that does. But Chrissy, we'll start with you first, and a great day so far. We've had the skills challenge, we've had the 3-point challenge. Now we move on to the All-Star Game and the WNBL's finest, of course, as well as you, here today. What are your early thoughts going into this contest? You're all about it. Absolutely, and Annie, a few Solent players in there as well that you're going to keep your eye on and support as well. So it's safe to say that if Chrissy is Team Pink, obviously, then you're rooting for Alia Shabrawy and Team Blue, no?
Well, you say that.
Exactly. I was trying my best.
I think if Fatima has an unreal game, like if she switches on and goes off, I think that's where a big threat will come from for the blue team, and Pink just needs to lock her down really early.
Absolutely. So starting fives, Team Alia Shabrawy going with Kat Goldsby, Fatmata Jana, and of course Alia Shabrawy. Who else will be in that starting five? Rochelle Walton and Jess Davis, and Rochelle Davids, Lindsey Cleary, Faye Endine, Rhian Rawlings and Elan Trillian will be in the starting five for Team Pink as the introductions get underway. And Team Blue looking for their first win of the Rebound All-Stars game. Of course, it was a really close encounter last season. It went to overtime, Chrissy, and Team Hulme got the job done. And of course, Katrin Hulme in her final ever appearance as a player, now a fitness fanatic, shall we say, getting the MVP awards with 17 points, 12 boards. But what a game that was, and went all the way to overtime and in the final possessions.
She didn't play, so she's now here and she's definitely wanting that win this time. So
absolutely.
I think she's going all in today, and it'll be interesting to see the matchup between her and Faye Endine.
Definitely, and one of the more energetic personalities, Alia Shabrawy, saying goodbye to Loughborough Riders this season after 4 years. And not only was she enthusiastic last year, she almost broke the chairs here on the commentary box during the skills challenge. But she was a very, very hyped up coach as well on the day.
Yeah, I think on the day she brings it. She brings that energy, whatever game it is, whether she's playing, coaching, or just spectating. I think Loughborough have made a massive loss there when she does leave this season, and it will be hard shoes to fill.
Absolutely, as Team Pink, led by Lindsey Cleary, will now head to the floor. And so San Francisco, what a season she's had alongside yourself, Chrissy, and what a National Cup final she had. She's averaged 12 points a game, had 13 points in that National Cup final, but a tremendous season for San Francisco.
Oh, definitely, like from last season as well. She was injured quite a lot last season, and the fact that she's come back and kept herself quite healthy and just smashed it this season. She was probably on everyone's scouting list to stop her, and yeah, she smashed it. She's doing well, and I look forward to what she's going to do next year as well. So
absolutely,
she's doing well.
And of course, all the Solent players on Team Pink. Faye Endine, Megan Dorney being introduced there, and it's going to be a very interesting game, this one, isn't it? You know, it always starts off in a fun, almost high-octane scrimmage, doesn't it? And then it gets a little bit serious, doesn't it, in the latter stages, as Ellen Trillian, the National Cup Final MVP, being introduced. Ben Stanley and Lauren Milligan, the two head coaches, Milligan for Team Blue and Stanley for Team Pink. As a near sellout crowd here at the Solent Sports Complex, waiting for this Women's All-Star game. And one positive from the Women's All-Star game, or from the women's season, the WNBL season, that must be said, was the rise in attendances, the rise in engagement for the season. Of course, WNBL Live, more exposure from the club's social media accounts for the women's team, you know, especially with the Reading Rockets and with the Solent Kestrels, and hopefully next season bigger and better.
Yeah, I think especially at Solent, I know the playoff game against Reading was probably the biggest women's crowd we've had here this whole season, and credit to Reading because they brought spectators down as well. But actually, all of our junior girls program, they loved coming and watching the women's game as people who they aspire to be, and I think that's the same for clubs all over at the minute.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, just going on that, Chrissy, with Reading Rockets now playing out of Loddon Valley, you know, moving away from Rivermead, a much easier venue to get to as well, and you know, a lot of improvement with the crowd at Loddon Valley. Obviously, there's an increased attendance there.
Oh yeah, definitely, and the club is doing their best to try and get people to come and watch. And I mean, Lindsay is a coach, she coaches, so her girls are always trying to come and support, and it's so nice to see, like, they're always there, and they always want to do pictures and like sign like little notes and something like this. It's so nice to see the girls. There's a lot of girls come in, and for the men's games as well. It's a show. It's nice to be there, and I remember like our last home game, our last season game we played against the Kestrels, and I mean, it was a show. It was great. It was so good to be there, and like, I think it's getting better and better, and they're trying to get better even next year, and we'll see what other ideas they come up with about we're trying to get more and more younger players to come and watch for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely, and of course it was nice for you to actually finally play on the home floor, even though it was an opposition team. Of course, you missed out on the league game due to illness.
Okay, so Linz, after you
set that was a shame. Yeah, I look forward to that game as well.
You were there, I remember that well. That was one of our WNBL Live games of the season, and was told last minute that you had taken ill, but were still there in spirit, which was good to know. And we go to the starting fives again for Team Al Shabrawy. It's Kat Goldsby, Fatmata Jana. Al Shabrawy starts at 5. Rochelle Walton and Jess Davis for Team Cleary in pink. Rochelle Davids of the Brent Bulls, Lindsey Cleary of the Rockets, Faye Endine of the Kestrels, Rian Rawlings of Angular Ruskin, and Elan Trillian of the Thames Valley Cavaliers. Thank you everyone for joining us on the Rebound Basketball channel here on YouTube, as we give you exclusive coverage of the Rebound All-Stars event all day here on YouTube from Solent Sports Complex. You are watching the Women's All-Star game, which is due to tip off any second now. John Hobbs, Annie Scanlon and Chrissy Karpova keeping you company for today. Rayat Bafuri will be on the sidelines checking in as well. As we get set for the second annual All-Star game. Of course, Team Blue looking for their first All-Star win. And Al Shabrawy has led the team on both occasions. She was coaching last season, of course, couldn't play due to injury, but she is on the court for technically her first All-Star game here. And Team Blue get the first possession after a bit of a scrap. Here is Goldsby. Goldsby loses the ball. Rawlings has it, but Goldsby comes up with it and scores. There's the first field goal.
Goldsby's a threat there. She'll turn the ball over, but she, like all of these players out here, they have heart. They'll leave it out there, so she's not going to want to mess that up.
And we spoke about this game being a high octane. Nice pass inside to Endine, who scores. We talk about this being a high octane scrimmage match, but with these players, ultra competitive, we might not actually see that. As Cleary comes up with it off the steal. And here is Rawlings from Angela Ruskin. And the foul has been called as...
Hey, way to execute that first one,
Davis
ladies.
was going to the hoop.
Right, we got 2 points, I'm done. Oh, nice!
Inside to Endine, and that's Endine's second field goal of the day.
She didn't come to mess around. She's come here to play and show everyone why she's the MVP.
And
She wants another one.
For sure.
Goldsby, and there's Davis, who misses the short jumper. And here is Rawlings. Cross-court pass to Cleary. Ball battered around a bit, and it will stay with Team Pink. So far, though, you know, pace of the game is as you'd expect, and both teams just feeling each other out as Rawlings at the top for three, rattles one in, and that's the first three-pointer. Here is Al Shabrawy. Jana a three. Jana strings a three. Back-to-back threes from both teams.
They need to stop her from shooting that three. She's got one now. She won't stop.
And there she is at the other end with the block. A foul is called.
I don't think she can believe that one herself.
A foul called?
Coach Milligan to see if it was or not.
A foul called in the early stages of an All-Star game. Who'd have thought it? That's two, actually, as well. Second team foul.
Two for
Team Blue. Team Blue, what are you doing to us? As Rhian Rawlings goes to the line for the first time today. And Rhian Rawlings, what a season she's had for Angela Ruskin. Of course, big shoes to fill with the departure of Katrin Hjorm. But, you know, 13 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, and led the team in most categories, actually, this season, Rhian Rawlings. As Jana passes out. Goldsby for three is in and out.
Yeah, they're the ones we want to go all day, keep going.
I think that's Team Blue, yeah, Team Blue. Early stages of the women's All-Star game here at the Rebound All-Stars event. Almost like the unofficial start of the off-season, the summer. This event, of course, we still have a week of the British Basketball League season to go, along with the Women's British Basketball League. Of course, the playoff final will be played at the O2 Arena next Sunday. Trillian misses everything with her mid-range jumper, and here is Rochelle Walton. Rochelle Walton lays it in, and a player who had such an incredible season, and one particular performance that stood out to me was her performance against Cardiff back in February, who, you know, 41 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, she went off in that game. I don't think Cardiff quite knew how to stop her. Well, they definitely didn't, but that's one thing that Coach Milligan will want.
Of course, coached by Milligan is Rochelle Walton, as Fatmata Jana will now go to the line, and for an All-Star event, 3 team fouls so far.
In 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. These referees are going to be on it today, I think.
Not here to muck about, I'll tell you that right now, as Fatmata Jana will go to the foul line. And again, an incredible season for Fatmata Jana, and we'll head to St. Peter's. Of course, Jen Leadham and Joe Leadham-Warner, the two coaches of St. Peter's. So, you know, Fatmata will be in very good hands when she heads over to St. Peter's.
Yeah, definitely. It would be nice to see, and it's, I'm pretty sure it's a Division 1.
Division 1 school, yeah.
Division 1 school, so it would be nice to see her balling out there.
Absolutely, a former Great Britain junior. Trillian, great link-up play with Rawlings. Beautiful basketball from Team Cleary.
I enjoyed this more because this time they've had a little time with their teams and they get to like play together before they actually play this game.
Actually,
did they?
just after the skills challenge, they were actually having a 2-on-2 while the kids were playing, as Rochelle Davids almost went for the layup, but instead decided to pass it inside to Al Shabrawy, and Al Shabrawy will go to the line.
That's second on Helen.
And that is 2 fouls on the National Cup Finals MVP, Elan Trillian, as Liv Forster will check into the game for the first time. And also checking in is Sol Limoges of Cardiff Met Archers. Liv Forster, of course, taking part in the 3-point contest earlier on, and on her 18th birthday, 30 points, 9 steals, and MVP as Ipswich finally dethroned Kohler in the under-18s final. And what a game that was.
What a birthday to remember.
Absolutely.
I mean, if it wasn't just her 18th, she then went and got MVP and won the championship.
Absolutely, and after the cup final, Liv's parents, who are here today, Jim and Sam, organised a nice little party for Liv at her dad's rugby ground over in Oldham. Of course, not too far away from Manchester, where the final was held. As Rochelle Walton misses the layup, and Al Shabrawy
There she is with the rebound.
collects that rebound there. Walton a 3. And Andre Arisol watching courtside, celebrating that as well. Of course, he'll take part in the men's All-Star game, due to tip off at 6. There might be a subject to change coming on that, as Bedoya with a fancy pass, but doesn't get anyone but Sol Limoges. And here is Al Shabrawy, stops on the dime, looks for Walton, finds her, and nails a 3.
Team Pink need to stop her. This is what she did against Cardiff Met.
Absolutely, 16-13, and there is Endine.
This is her move. She likes her little layup.
She sees a slight gap and she's gone. She's taking it.
Al Shabrawy looking to answer. Here is Dorney into the game for the first time for Team Pink. Endine looking to dance on Al Shabrawy, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it will go the other way as Al Shabrawy leads 16-15 with 5:12 remaining in the first, as Carolina Marquez of the Worcester Wolves and Saruna Gudza of Ipswich will check into the game. Al Shabrawy and Kat Goldsby will take a seat. Here is Gudza. Forster loves the 3 on the catch and shoot, but missed on that occasion. And Gudza couldn't respond either, and Bedoya with the rebound. Here is Endine. Endine looking for options, finds it in Dorney. Nice cut and one.
That's the Kestrel's link up
there.
there.
And that's what she likes to do, you know. This was in our we had to stop that when we played against Kestrels, and this is what she does. She's so smart with her little backdoors, so it's nice to see her doing it again.
And another substitution coming in, as looks like Anna Isabel Anderson coming in.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
We got 2 more subs on the Team Pink.
Anna Neverson and Seowa San Francisco come into the game, and obviously a bit of favouritism for Chrissy as San Francisco takes the floor alongside Lindsey Cleary. Physical under the basket there, but Gudza misses the short attempt. Here is Dorney. And a 2-point attempt is no good, but Team Pink come up with it again. San Francisco to Neverson. Inside to Cleary, that's easy.
And there's your Reading link up.
Exactly.
So we go from Solent to Reading.
That's Team Pink for you.
Marquez looking for a bit of room, couldn't get it on the follow, Limoges, and Limoges couldn't get it either. And here is Bedoya. Bedoya to Neverson.
That's her shot.
Thought about the
I
three,
don't know why
but
she didn't take that one.
decided not to go for it. San Francisco falls to the floor, and under the basket, Lamonge comes up with it, and Liv Forster can break for Team Blue, the runner. And Liv Forster is long with her runner.
Lindsey's just picking up her rebounds.
Bedoya, what a pass to Dorney! And Janessa Bedoya, probably one of the more underrated point guards in WNBL Division 1, showing her skills here, as Anna Isabel Anderson of Kohler misses the layup. Here is Bedoya again at the foul line.
There she
Neverson,
is.
a catch and shoot three, gets it to go.
Nothing back now, Anna Neverson.
She learned from that first one, not taking it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coach Stanley probably shouted at her for that one.
As Forster misses everything and shares a joke with Neverson, who was defending her. 25-16 to Team Cleary.
Oh, give it to her again.
Neverson. Cleary. Inside again to Dorney. Timeout has been called by Coach Milligan, who has seen enough, and Team Lindsey Cleary, Team Pink, is doing the business right now. 27-16 to the good.
Like we said though, Meg loves those backdoor cuts. I think you said it on your Reading Scout, that's what you had to try and stop her from doing. Team Blue haven't quite recognised that yet.
She just hides behind the players and she's always there, so that's literally what was on the scout, and she's doing it again.
Absolutely.
So
Lindsey
wide
Cleary,
open hole, we're coming down, we're not even
her
matched
team
up.
getting the job done at the moment. 6 points, 8
You've got to
rebounds,
at
3
least be matched
steals
up, put some
last
pressure on her.
year
How many open
in
layups
this
have they just
Rebound
had to win?
All-Star
Not even
game, and
contested.
so far has 4 points. Is playing well, but right now the team basketball, you've got to say, is coming from Team Cleary right now, because Al Shabrawy's Team Blue are a bit all over the place.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say, like we said, there's the link-ups between the players that play for the same team, but you can also see it from like Anna passing into Lindsey in the paint. Like, they're all looking for each other on Team Pink. I just don't think it's quite there on Team Blue yet.
Absolutely. 5 for 19 from the field so far for Team Al Shabrawy, shooting 26%, but on the flip side, Team Cleary are sublime, 11 of 15 from the field. And they've hit both their 3-pointers as well for good measure. But it's all competitive, but all in good spirit in this Rebound All-Star game, celebrating the best of the WNBL. And delighted to be joined by 2 winners as well, alongside me in Annie and Chrissy. Had to get that in there.
We appreciate it.
And me. Anyway, back to the action. Kat Goldsby back into the game, misses the elbow jumper.
It's her shot though, so I'm surprised she missed that one.
Culminated a role with the Thames Valley Cavaliers with an assistant coach's role as well, alongside Coach Banks this season. Shot clock winding down. San Francisco a 3, short. And Anna Isabel Anderson bringing it up for Team Al Shabrawy.
Coming with speed there.
Absolutely. Of course, Jackson Gibbons likes a methodical game from his players, but Anna Isabel Anderson really going for it there, as Anna Neverson misses the 3 from the top. Of course, this will be her final game. We spoke about her this will be her final game in Manchester at the playoff finals, but drafted here last minute in the absence of Eberi Eberica, who is missing due to an 11th hour injury. We sure hope that Eberica is recovering well. What a playoff final she had for Kohler. 32.6 rebounds, and you had a front row seat to that as well, even though Solent got the job done.
Do you know
Amazing
what?
performance
And we kept
from her.
saying it. Coach kept saying it. He was like, that is the player we have to look out for. That's the player you have to stop. And it's almost like she's a silent player. You don't realise how many points she scores until you look at the scoreboard, because she does the right things.
And Kat Goldsby on the steal and the score. And Al Shabrawy with a much-needed basket, and it's now a 9-point game. But absolutely, Eberica, what a performance. So unlucky, not to get the win for Kohler that day. And it just shows a lot of improvement from the season before, where she was only really playing around 10 minutes a game, averaging 3 or so points, and then growing to 14 points a game this season.
Carolina Marquez just showing that she's a three-point shooter.
And the gap is now 6 points. So Al-Shabrawy has narrowed the gap, but Doyer at 2, and that's good. And Goods' pass asking a little too much of Goldsby, and the pass nearly running into DJW8, who is providing the entertainment here at Solent Sports Complex. Well, he is wearing a blue jersey, so he wouldn't have minded that, I guess.
No.
What
Neverson, tough move.
She likes her trick shots as well.
Oh, you should see her when she coaches the kids. Every time we get a break.
Al-Shabrawy at the other end misses the layup. Saruna Goodser on the follow.
It's a 10-point game now.
10-point game, and
Here we go, we see the hustle
Bedoya,
again.
the competitive nature coming out early on.
I'm not sure if it actually will be their ball, unless it was the 8-second violation.
They are calling it for Team Cleary.
Oh.
Neverson.
There we go, there's Neverson's cleverness.
Finds San Francisco, blocked by Goldsby. Oh, she didn't like that one. She thought that was clean, but she had a smile on her face as referee Pete Terrell calling the foul. And Megan Dorney will go to the foul line. A good first season for Solent. 14 points, 11 boards in the playoff final win over Kohler. And another one of these players, like you said with Aberia Berika, just silently gets the job done.
Oh yeah, she does massively. She's been a massive asset to Solent this year. Unfortunately, we only have her for one season. She was on a Masters, so we do lose Meg after this game probably. I think she's going to stick around for some summer stuff, but she will be a massive loss to Solent. Yeah. It's her energy off the court as well that she brings.
Solent have a history as we run down the final seconds of the first. Kat Goldsby wanted a foul on Al-Shabrawy, but nothing doing. That ends the first quarter, and Team Cleary leads 33-23 over Team Al-Shabrawy in a really entertaining first quarter. Everything you really want in an all-star game. Of course, there were fouls in there as well, but a competitive start to this game, something you don't usually see traditionally in all-star games going, in like NBA
Whoever's in that, because it's probably a guard in that
BBL
anyway.
ones from very past years. So it's competitive, but the referees are still calling their fouls and still capitalising on players.
Yeah, I think with these referees as well, they will ref it like it is a normal NBA game. So I think we're quite fortunate in that sense that we've got some referees that will do it like that, and actually the players will adapt to how the referees are reffing the game.
And Megan Dorney leading all scorers at the moment with 9 points and 3 rebounds on 3 for 4 shooting. And for Team Al-Shabrawy, Ruche Walton with 8 points at the moment on 3 for 5. So, as you were really, as you would expect, the leading scorers of these teams, and 8 of the 10 players featuring in this game, of course, are in the top 10 for scoring for WNBL, so points will not be hard to come by.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Helen's back on with her 2 fouls, so I'm just looking forward to her and to see how she's going to now step up and show that why she was in the team of the year. So it'll be nice to see how she picks it up now with 2 fouls.
And so was San Francisco yet to get off the mark. Lindsey Cleary, though, on 4 points. If Chrissy, your Reading meter is on. Megan Dorney on 9, of course. Faye Endine on 6 for Solent. And here we go for the second quarter. Al-Shabrawy bringing it up. And the ball goes straight out of bounds. Bit of a miscommunication between Marquez and Al-Shabrawy.
Team Blue is now pressing.
And Forster, nearly came up with the steal, but ball goes out of bounds and Team Pink will reclaim.
There she goes.
And there is San Francisco to Neverson. Fakes Goldby, puts up a 3 and it's long. And here is Al Shabrawy. Al Shabrawy with the spin. Kicks it out to Goldsby, wide, open for 3, and it's short. The ball gets tipped out.
She almost got the rebound as well against Helen.
Elan Trillian and the much smaller Alia Al Shabrawy going for the rebound there, and a foul has been called on Al Shabrawy. That's her first.
She does fight for those rebounds, though.
Oh, yeah.
The smallest, probably one of the smallest players on the court, but she will out-rebound the biggest.
And nearly averaged 10 rebounds this season. It was 9.8 rebounds along with 16 points a game for Al Shabrawy. And yeah, for her size, what an incredible stat line that is, as Elan Trillian will go to the foul line. Jess Davis will pick up her first foul. Of course, Jess Davis, who averaged 10 points, 10 rebounds for Brent Bulls, and a great first season for the Brent Bulls in Division 1. They were looking to step up to WBBL action. Of course, the BBL have halted applications for now, so more than likely Brent will stay in WNBL Division 1 next season. But what a first season they've had, marked by a playoff place.
No, definitely, yeah. They started off really good as well. I think our first game was against them, and just having that so physical and just completely different game that we used to play in WNBL, and they've had a good season.
Absolutely. Came here in November and lost out to the Kestrels as
there she is.
Liv Forster with her first 3-pointer of the game. Liv Forster, who averaged 20 points a game this season, second in the WNBL behind Fatmata Jana, as Bedoya for a mid-range jumper is no good. And Lamange comes up with the board, and it's 2-on-1 here if Liv Forster wants to kick it out to Marquez, who does. And Marquez's 3 is no good. And Rochelle Davids of Brent Bulls has it against Al Shabrawy. Gets bumped, misses the layup, and a foul is called.
Ooh. I think
Very late whistle if it was. Oh, they've called it on Helen, yeah.
Unlucky.
They called it a pushing foul.
That's 3 fouls on Elan Trillian, so Bedoya and San Francisco are coming out.
I don't think Coach Stanley is very happy with that
No.
call there.
Not at all. I think he needs to now think of a substitution for Traylon.
Trillian is actually staying on the floor on 3 fouls at the moment, so she has to be careful as Team Cleary leads by 8.
It's tough because she's just a big body and she's just doing her thing and going
Absolutely,
for a rebound,
yeah.
and she gets caught as a foul. That's really tough.
Davids puts in a short 2. 10-point game, 2 minutes gone in the second. Here is Al Shabrawy to Jana, a 3-pointer. And Rawlings, who's back into the game, gets the rebound and is now pushing it, but it's 1-on-5. Here is Endine.
Why not?
Rawlings in the corner. And Jana with the loose ball, and away come Team Blue again. Nice fake from Jana and a foul called. Neverson straight away puts her hands up, and it will be on Neverson. And that's her first foul.
Neverson does know when she fouls. She's normally quite honest about it. I'm surprised that she didn't flop on that one. I'm not going to lie. She won't mind me saying that either. It's an ongoing joke. Normally when she has someone running at her, she likes to be a little bit dramatic, but again, it is an ongoing joke on the Kestrels team.
And we won't tell you the joke they've made about her when she goes to Alaska.
Oh no, we won't say that one. She knows that one though.
I thought Alaska was quite nice the one time I've been, but either way, the ball goes out of bounds. Of course, but in all seriousness, as Anna Neverson takes a seat, a fantastic program at Alaska that she will be part of, and no doubt she'll excel when she is there.
Yeah, I think she will. I think she's made for the American lifestyle. She's made for that athlete program. I think if they can get her into coaching as well, she's shone with coaching this year and last year. She's been an absolute asset to the club. We will miss her.
Endine inside to Trillian, who missed it. Still the shot clock winding down as Cleary gets her shot blocked. Here is Walton. Walton to Al Shabrawy. Al Shabrawy a three, no good. Body's on the floor. Walton nearly banked in the three. Al Shabrawy and Cleary were fighting for it. And here is Davids to Endine. Endine in the corner, misses everything. And Jess Davis comes up with the loose ball. Here is Al Shabrawy.
It looks like a shooting contest now. Everyone's just shooting threes.
Well, why not?
That's what you expect for an All-Star game.
Davis on the floor, shot clock down to 8. Walton misses nearly everything with her three-point attempt, and Rawlings comes up with it. And here is Cleary, sees a bit of daylight and banks it home.
That's Lindsey Cleary to you guys.
Yeah.
That's just Lindsey Cleary. That's what she does. She's going for a double-double again today.
Al Shabrawy. Forster. Loves the catch and shoot three.
That was a deep three as well from
Liv Forster with her second three, and Cleary inside. Great defense from Jana.
I'm very surprised she didn't foul then. Normally, she controlled herself then. Coach Miller
Forster again! Back-to-back threes for Liv Forster. The nuclear weapon, as Coach Nick Drain calls her. As Davids misses the mid-range jumper, and now Al Shabrawy has a chance to possibly make it a one-possession game. Walton banks in a three! And there is the one-possession game. Timeout, Team Cleary, and Al Shabrawy leading the cheers. What a spell that was from Team Al Shabrawy, recovering from that slow start.
Yeah, they had like, what, 3 threes? And
back-to-back. 3 threes.
And Liv Forster hit 2 of them.
And then Walton got that last one there. I think from Coach Stanley, he's probably called that timeout to stop the shooting run. He is very much like that when you play against the team. If they go on a 6 to 8 point run, he'll call a timeout straight away. So he'll just be one of resetting his team, making sure they know their defensive assignments. He's very high on that. Defensive assignments are the most important thing to him.
And I think Megan was on the substitution bench as well. They do need Megan back as well, because she was the one putting up the points. So yeah.
Team Al Shabrawy 8 for 21 from downtown, and Team Cleary just 2 for 7 at the moment. So Team Al Shabrawy really favouring the three-point shot when you have guns like Liv Forster, Rashay Walton in your mix, and Carolina Marquez, who of course led the WNBL in three-point percentage this season at 37.5%. Why not? And one of the main things we briefly spoke about at the top of the show is, you know, the extended promotion for the women's game. A near sellout here today at the Solent Sports Complex. Just under 300 fans here in attendance, as a fan is saying hello to our very own Annie Scanlon there.
That was one of our minis. One of our mini kids.
Annie coaching kids from reception class up to year 5, year 6.
It's organised chaos. That's what we like to call it. It's organised chaos.
Endine back to Trillian with the run off the glass, too strong. But on the follow, gets it at the second attempt.
She gets her on rebound and she's putting it back up.
First field goal for Elan Trillian. She now moves on to 3, as Goodser looking for options and finds it in Jana with 10 to shoot. Good idea from Jana, still finds Goodser, shot clock down to 4.
Oh, good move.
Oh, and nearly got the shot to go, but needs to put up something. And as the shot clock expired, Goodser missed the desperation runner. Endine putting the moves on Goodser. Finds Trillian, whose floater is no good. Still has the ball with 9 to shoot. Here is Rawlings to Endine. Endine couldn't find Trillian, and away comes Team Blue with Jana.
Coach Milligan just wanted them to speed up a little bit there.
And Jana says, I'll do that then, coach, and puts it in for 2 under the basket.
Coach Milligan, from knowing her as a player and as a coach, loves the quick game. If you can attack the basket, that's what she wants you to do, and that's something that she's trying to get Jenna to do before she heads out to the States with Jen and Joey.
And Megan Dorney's pass finds no one but the Volunteers desk. I think Chiara De Stefano is actually on that desk, of course, a former Solent player. Head stuck in the on her laptop, of course, now a photographer, an incredible photographer of that as well.
Yeah, and she was helping us in Reading, and she trained with us, and I think she wants to come back and play basketball again, so hopefully we'll see her in WNBL maybe next season. You never know.
It'd be great to see. What a fantastic three-point shooter, for the majority of the time coming off the bench for the Kestrels, especially in the lockout season. Here is Jana, 3 to shoot. Jana misses everything, smacks the backboard, and Dorney says, thank you very much. Here is Rawlings, asking too much of Lindsey Cleary. And what's really fun to see is, even though there's been a fair few turnovers, every turnover has been met with a smile and a laugh, which is, you know, even though it's a competitive spirit, that the fun factor is still there.
Oh, massively. I think you'll see that in the men's as well later. I think the men's will probably be a little bit more explosive, but I think you will see the fun element in it as well. Like, you have some very competitive players in the men's one, as we do in this women's one, so I think it will be fun and competitive at the same time.
I mean, Jordan May did say that they all want to just come and have fun here. They all like each other, and they're just going to have another shoot around, I think.
Yeah, no,
during
absolutely.
the game. So, yeah, we'll see that later on.
As Saruna Goodser of Ipswich misses the second free throw, here is Rawlings. Rawlings finds Cleary for 2. Cleary now moves on to 8. Jana putting the moves on Dorney.
Great defense.
Great defense indeed by Dorney, and Jana misses both attempts, and here comes Endine for Team Cleary. Endine gets Goodser in the air but misses the shot. Dorney though on the follow. Oh, Jana thought she had a clean block.
I wouldn't agree with that.
From here it sounded like all ball actually, but
I think he's trying to say that she pushed her as she came down to get the ball from what he's just symboled there. That's not the right word for it, but from what he's just shown, he's shown that she pushed, which I think she does not agree with at all.
It's tough because you're trying to foul with one hand and the other hand on the hips, and they always call that other hand on the hip and say you did push them.
As Megan Dorney now 4 for 4 from the foul line today, is the first player from Team Pink into double figures. Davis on the catch and shoot, misses everything, and Rawlings has it. Dorney, Endine wide open in the wing, gets the 3 to go.
That's a home court advantage, I'm telling you guys. This is a home court advantage for them too.
Goodser looking to answer, and that just grazes the rim. Jana nearly stole it off Dorney, and here comes Bedoya. Cross-court pass to Endine. Endine with the floater off the glass.
They ended on 11 points now.
Told you she wants that other MVP.
Yeah.
She wants all of them this year.
Joint leading scorer with Rashay Walton, who are both on 11. Anna Isabel Anderson looking for 3, that's short.
Good hustle from both players there. Jess Davis really trying to get off that after that rebound.
Great pass by Bedoya. Rawlings in the corner, a three. Ganessa Bedoya, probably one of the best passers in the WNBL, and that was why Walton, her teammate at London Lions, nearly stole it off of there, Bedoya, but she still managed to get the floater to go. Here is Endine. Endine fakes, but misses the layup. Here is Walton. Pace is just quickening up a bit, but it's getting a little scrappy as we have 44.7 seconds remaining in the first half as Alia Shabrawy will check in and Fatmata Jana and Saruna Gudza will take a seat. Carolina Marquez, the other player, back onto the floor.
I think Team Blue needs to calm down a little bit and just try and play more a team basketball.
They did have it to within 2 at one point, but are now trailing by 9. Davis, 3, and that's money. Another timeout called with 40.7 seconds left in the first half. Timeout has been called with Team Cleary up 48-42, and a second quarter that's been a little scrappy, but still a lot of entertaining basketball has been played.
Annie, what is coach doing now?
Annie, what is coach saying?
I want to know what's the time now.
He'll have called that purely because of how open she was, and she was allowed to shoot that 3 with no contest at all. That is what coach will be saying to them right now.
Okay.
I think for
Megan, try and get a bit higher than that, actually. Try and get
it's
here.
mostly about slowing them down. I think Team Blue are doing a real good job at being quick and getting the ball down the floor quick, but then they go a little bit chaotic. And I think Coach Stanley will be wanting the pink team to slow that down. Okay, let them run crazy and into the half court, but then once they're in there, we have to stop them. We have to slow them down.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And
Can't let them shoot.
would you agree with that? Would you agree with that as well?
I do,
Yeah?
I do. I mean, you can't let them shoot wide open threes. We know those players. We've played them for the whole season, so everybody knows players. So just put your hand up, girls.
Coach Chrissy has spoken. And of course, a great season for you, Chrissy, with the Reading Rockets. Before you joined the Rockets, they were almost as good as relegated, but thankfully for them, staying in Division 1 as Stockport Lapwings chose to remain in Division 2.
Yeah.
But you joined them, and it was a good first season for you guys, getting to a National Cup final and a playoff spot. And even though you in our conversations, you don't want to admit it, becoming a bit of a mentor for the younger players on the team and a bit of a captain figure as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've really enjoyed my season this year, and obviously having Lindsey there as well, I think that was a great player to pick up as well. And to be honest, they picked Lindsey up last rebound game. They were here. Candela was talking to her, seeing if she wanted to play, and she said, yeah, why not? And yeah, no, it was a great season, and almost getting to that second final as well, just losing in the semi-finals against Solent. It was tough, but I really enjoyed it, and looking forward to next season for sure.
Final seconds of the half, and ending being marked by Anna Isabel Anderson, almost shades of the playoff final. Rawlings, what an attempt of a 3 that was, but it doesn't go. But that ends an entertaining first half of action here at the Solent Sports Complex, and it's only a 6-point game. Team Cleary leads 48-42. They had a lead that was as big as 11 points at one point, but Team Shabrawy, who started slowly, have picked up the pace. And it's all to play for in the second half, much like we had in last year's All-Star game, when obviously it went to overtime. And we all know how that ended. But an entertaining first half. Faye Endine leading the way for Team Cleary with 11 points. In fact, it's a Solent 1-2 with Endine on 11 and Megan Dorney on 10. Rochelle Walton leading Shabrawy with 11 points. But a good first half of action right there.
Oh yeah, massively. I think, like we've all said, we knew it would be a good first half. We knew both these teams would come out and compete, and they've done exactly that. They've shown why they are the best in their WNBL.
And There are still tickets available if you want to get yourself down here to Southampton Sports Complex, as Chrissy's sources have told us that there are just less than 10 seats away from a complete sellout, and that's just a fantastic accomplishment, and you know, great to see. And you know, you can still get your tickets, but final, I think 9 tickets are available.
Yeah, this is amazing. Like, so exciting to see how many people there are, and then you can see how many young players there are as well. And I've seen a lot of players from the Solent as well as Reading Rockets, and it's just so good to see how many young players is there.
Absolutely. So it is half time here at the Solent Sports Complex. Team Cleary leads 48-42, and the fantastic Solent University journalism students are just fixing their hair, getting ready for the half-time report. Take it away, Kit, it's all you.
Yep, so it's half-time here, 48-42. Thank you very much, John. Yeah, me and Pierre have really been enjoying this game here courtside. And that's a ball that goes through my legs there. It's absolute mayhem down here, but no different to what it was like during the game just now. I mean, 48-42, huge game.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great start to the game. Team Cleary, 30 points in the first quarter. They came out firing. We saw the chemistry with their team really early on, with plenty of Solent Kestrel's players, quite a few Reading players, and they were gelling together pretty well. The other team couldn't stop their passing. They were flying the ball around. So it was, and we said that before the pre-game, you know, these guys, a lot of them have got the top assists. They love passing the ball almost. So, and that was happening because Team Shabrawy, they couldn't stop them. Couldn't stop them to begin with. And we also saw on the other side with Team Shabrawy, they kind of were missing a lot of their shots to begin with, but in the second quarter they were hitting those three-pointers pretty well.
Yeah, and if you look at you know, the score sheet, I mean, it's really evident as well that actually every player here today is getting some, you know, kind of contribution points-wise, which, I mean, it's to be expected. It's an all-star game. These you know, these players are, you know, the best in the league, obviously, but. Yeah, they're all bringing their A game today, scoring, contributing, and that's why it's such a high score, 48-42 right now.
Team Cleary, they've only got one player who's yet to hit on the scoreboard, but that doesn't matter. It's San Francisco, but she's still playing incredibly well. She's had a good game out there so far. They've all playing really well, and you got like 2 Kestrel players. They're in double digits already on their home court, playing Dean and Megan Dorney. We spoke about them pre-game, and both of them have come and they're playing like they have a home field advantage.
Absolutely, and then, yeah, you mentioned Faye and Dean. Yeah, home court advantage, obviously helping her out. What more can be expected from, you know, such a sensational player? I lose count, honestly, of how many accolades she has. Team of the year, Young Player of the Year, you know, Finals MVP.
They said it in the commentary box that she wants every single award this year. She's going for every single one of them, and at this rate she's going to pick up the All-Star MVP as well. The way she's throwing the ball around, the way she's dropping the points, she's playing amazingly again, and you wouldn't expect anything less from her.
No, absolutely not. And then on the other team, Roche Walton, also with 11 points, leading the scoring for our team. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely brilliant what she's brought to this team today. And again, to be expected, one of the most efficient players in the league. You know, she's doing her job really well, such a veteran player.
Yeah, 100%. I think we did start to see the comeback from Team Shabrawy really in that second quarter. They closed it down to 1 point. Still wanted us to take the lead, but they did close it down when they had Olivia Forster, young, just turned 18 in the previous week. I think she hit 2 three-pointers back to back. And then Walton hit one. It was something, you know, the game swung really quickly, but Team Cleary, they opened up that points gap again. But, I mean, it's all to play for. Anything can happen. These guys are all brilliant. They could suddenly hit plenty of threes in a row, and the whole game swings around and Team Strawberry in the lead. So.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Olivia Foster there, you know, because as we said earlier on in the 3 points contest, she was a little bit hard done by being given the wrong size basketball. But then, you know, in this game, what did we say? We said she would correct that, and she's come here and she's, like you say, hit back-to-back threes. Really impressive from her as well.
Yeah, she had a good moment there, and that just moments like that are what's going to change this game, and who's going to go and take home the victory. Everyone's got the caliber, and everyone has the potential. So who's going to turn out and actually go and deliver? And all of them are putting in a performance, but it's who's going to put in that best performance. All of these are very good players, basically. It's going to come down to who is the best.
Yeah, but with the game so close, you know, it's all still to play for, both for, you know, the win and also the MVP. So yeah.
It may be a 6-point game right now, but that means nothing. We've got 2 quarters left, which are going to be packed full. There's going to be plenty of points. We're almost, Team Cleary almost going to get to 100-point mark. So, and that's a big feat to reach 100 points. It'll be pretty impressive. We just see all the kids, they're all just coming back in. It's absolute chaos here at the Sonar Sports Complex. We've just got all the young ballers just throwing the ball about, showing what they're made of. We saw them have a free throw competition earlier, and they're all going nuts, and they're all just coming off the pitches. We are about 2 minutes away from the second half beginning. It's going to be an interesting one. A few fouls given, which is a bit surprising for an All-Star game. Really, I didn't expect many fouls to be given, but the refs have got a bit. They've been fair about it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're they are giving out these fouls, and I know that was actually causing a bit of frustration. I'm not sure if maybe you heard, but Fatmata Jenna especially.
Yeah, very. She was right in front of us here. She was very hard done by. The commentary said it that they say it sounded like she got the ball. We were sat almost underneath it, and it sounded like all ball. I did think she was very hard done by that. She had a right to be frustrated.
And she was understandably not very happy. And yeah, she's right, it's an all-star game. You want a little bit of freedom. You want to kind of, have it your way a little bit. But at the same time, the referees, I think it's an all-star game for them as well.
Yeah.
So, they've got to do their job as well.
So we are just maybe 90 seconds away from restarting this. It's been an awesome game so far. The girls have really shown what they're made of. It's going to be amazing to see the second half. I think the commentary team are ready, so we'll throw it back up to you, John. How good was that first half and what you're expecting to happen? Do you think Team Cleary are going to hold on?
We'll see what happens, I guess. I mean, it's been a fantastic first half of action. Team Cleary led by as many as 11 points. But Al Shabrawy's team who have taken the lead on brief occasions, have pulled it back, and we have a thrilling second half in store here at the Solent Sports Complex. Team Al Shabrawy 42, Team Cleary 48. John Hobbs, Annie Scanlon and Christina Karpova keeping you company. Rayat the Fury will be joining us a bit later from courtside. And a near sellout, as we spoke about at the half. Just 9 tickets left for this All-Star Classic, seating about 300 at the moment.
It's like the last men's home game of the season. Me and Anna turned around whilst commentating, and we were like, oh, there's actually people stood up because there's no seats left.
The one game I'll always remember was the BBL Trophy semi-final here between Solent and Bristol. That first leg, when no one could move.
We were both in the crowd for that one.
That was an amazing game. Yeah, we were all sat, all the players sat on this side. It was just, it was definitely
a game I was very proud to call that on that day, and I couldn't believe what I was watching at most stages of that, as of course Solent reached the final, narrowly missing out to the Newcastle Eagles before COVID struck and cancelled the rest of the season. Goldsby inside, and Al Shabrawy is within 4 points. Here is Neverson. Stolen by Jana. Great awareness from Fat Manta Jana, and away comes Walton. Two BA London Lions players linking up there. And with Coach Milligan obviously leading the way with the Lions, and Fat Manta Jana and Rochelle Walton, what seasons they have had, and there's Goldsby missing the two, and of course with Jana going to St Peters, and with Walton staying with the London Lions, and is actually an operations assistant with the club, which is quite a stressful role to do, doing the day-to-day action, as Anna Neverson hits a three. But for Walton, definitely looking to her future, really, and doing it with the Lions, which is really cool to have.
Yeah, definitely. And I know Rochelle from Charnwood times, as she was in Charnwood, and I played with her, and it's so nice to see that she went to university in America, and she's come back, and she's back in playing basketball, and she had a great season this year for sure.
Of course, one of the standout performances of the season against Cardiff. 41 points, 11 rebounds as San Francisco hits her first field goal, and now every player from Team Cleary is on the board with at least a point.
This is nice to see.
Al Shabrawy dancing away on San Francisco. So if you're keeping track at home, Sol Lamage and Anna Isabel Anderson are now the only two players yet to register a point in this game, so nearly there. San Francisco picks up her first foul, so a three-pointer at one end, a foul at the other. And Al Shabrawy makes the first free throw, and a player who will say goodbye now to Loughborough University, but leaves hopefully with a degree in aeronautic engineering, or excuse me, automotive engineering, and was the only female in her class as Dorney goes inside. And
what a degree to get, though.
Yeah, and highlighting the need for more female engineers, and Walton inside to Jana. That goes off Endine last. Oh, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
From here,
she knew that too.
Yeah, from here it looked like it came off Endine last, but
Definitely, yeah, that was...
I think it just caught Jana's leg, maybe. But Faye knew it did not come off her. She was not having that one.
San Francisco. Cleary to Dorney at the top. And that misses everything.
Oh, good save.
Good save there from Cleary. San Francisco picks it up. Endine. Shot clock down to 1. Neverson, a 3. Strings it.
I must say, in her playoff run, Neverson's stepped up.
Definitely.
Absolutely,
next level. Like, she had the game, probably the game of the season in the first playoff game. Then the second one, again, she had a double-digit game. And then even in the final, she just outshone herself.
Dorney, a short 2. It's off to the right. And Jana almost caught in two minds whether to pass or lob, but decides to keep the dribble. Jana looking for options, decides to drive. Tough move from Jana, still has the ball. Stolen, by Endine. Faye Endine passes out. Neverson fakes Goldsby, goes inside, blows the layup, and Jess Davis picks up the loose ball as Jana sportingly helps up Neverson. Turnaround jumper from Al Shabrawy, and
Why not take that 3 out?
absolutely, yeah. Almost a Euro step there from Neverson. I think knew full well she was going to miss that, but thought I'll go for the theatrics anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Goldsby.
That's what I mean. Theatrics.
Had a huge smile on her face, knowing full well that was going to go down. 6:24 remaining. And we are joined as well by Worthing Thunder's Hafiz Abdul, who we'll get a word with in just a second. Hafiz Abdul will be joining us for the dunk contest before suiting up for the men's All-Star game, which will be due to tip off at around 6 o'clock as Kat Goldsby misses the first free throw. And Chrissy, obviously Kat Goldsby, what a season she had with Thames Valley. Sorry to say it, obviously in the National Cup final, really came alive in the second half, narrowly beating the Reading Rockets, but what a phenomenal player Kat Goldsby is, and doing more than just playing, but coaching as well. She's the assistant coach of the team and does so much for the Thames Valley team.
Oh, definitely. I think the first half of the season she was pretty much head coaching the team as well as playing. So that's amazing that she managed to do that. And definitely great player, and just her stats are looking good all the time.
Absolutely.
And she's always on everyone's list to look out for sure.
Averaged 16 points last season for Thames Valley, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists in that cup final as Walton goes inside off the feed from Alia Shabrawy. Here is Davids. Looking for options, finds it in Trillian inside and just about gets the roll. And Elan Trillian moves on to 5. Of course, a keen eye for art, Elan Trillian. If you follow her on Instagram, it's a very professional page full of artistic shots and graphic design as she does for a living. Ending all the way, misses the layup, likes to play in the open floor, but misses everything there, and Forster's pass finds Trillian.
I think she almost channeled that it was going there.
Ending short with her 3.
Good rebound.
Davids skies for the rebound and gets it on the second attempt.
I like watching Brent Bull's players because they're so tough, and it's just like playing against them. It's just like they do not give up. Like it's just
That's the mentality of Coach Toby Ali Balogun, who of course promotes women's basketball at all levels across the Wembley area, of course, where Brent are based. And again, like we said earlier, what a first season they had in Division 1 as San Francisco gets it and a foul.
No, she likes that. She likes going for that little layup, and she gets her own one.
Shifty as anything.
Such a tough player, San Francisco, and does a lot of things that you don't normally see on the stat sheet. Every coach's dream, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And she's always like, she never gives up. Like, even if she's injured and she's like hurting, and she's always like, you know what, I'm hurting, but I don't want to not play. Like, I want to support my team.
Absolutely.
And she's a beast for sure.
That was certainly one of the key things to San Francisco in January's cup final. Absolutely battered, bruised, but continued to play on, and can't count how many times she fell to the floor in that game. She fought for every loose ball.
Definitely.
Goldsby putting the moves on Davids. Forster. Goldsby has a bit of room, drives at Rawlings. The floater is no good, but she will go to the foul line.
That was an interesting foul to call. I'm going to just put that one out there. I can't hide that one. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, 2 players. I'm not going to moan at that call.
These are Solent Kestrels.
No. They are not associated with Solent Kestrels. We are not doing this. They may live in the south, but they are not Solent Kestrels referees.
Doesn't Peter O live in Southampton?
No, he lives not in Southampton.
Well, Tim Brown, one of the lead officials for the National Basketball League, does reside in the Isle of Wight, so close enough, but he's not refereeing either, so it doesn't really matter. He is here.
He's doing the men's game.
Yeah,
though.
he will be. Some place to live, the Isle of Wight. Here is Goldsby. Goodzer on the spin.
Oh, good spin.
And Goodzer will go to the foul line. There will be a second foul on San Francisco. As Anna Isabel Anderson checks back in, and Solomonge takes a seat. Of course, a disappointing season for the Cardiff Met Archers this season. Just 1 win, that win coming against the Brent Bulls actually, but disappointing season. But from what Sarah Wagstaff has been saying all season long, it's a rebuilding year, gathering up the youth and building them up and just rebuilding the side.
Yeah, I'd say that's one thing that Cardiff are really good at, from being there myself. They believe in their youth massively, they always have done. I think for them it was tough because Keris got injured very early in the season, and then Izzy was playing WBBL, and if there was a WBBL game, she went to that game rather than the WNBL.
Of course, Izzy Bunyan was due to play in this All-Star game, but couldn't.
Her revision has come
exactly.
first. Her revision's
Absolutely.
come first.
Yep. That's why a few of the Ipswich players actually didn't play in last year's All-Star game, was due to revision. One of those, I believe, was Yasin Belimbai, who, of course, then made the way back down south to Solent.
That was another good pickup for Solent this year.
As Jess Davis comes back into the game, and
as well as Lindsey Cleary.
As well as Lindsey Cleary, yeah. Cleary back into the game as well. 3:34 remaining in the third, and it's a 12-point lead for Team Cleary. So Al-Shabrawy have struggled in this third quarter so far. Here comes Davids. Trillian. Cleary finds an open Davids. A step back two is money.
She loves that shot. I remember playing against her in D2 last year. That was her shot. The step back corner or step back elbow shot was one that she will make 99% of the time.
Beautiful drive there, yeah. Beautiful drive from Liv Forster.
She's not scared of anyone. She just goes for it. It's just, she's a small girl, small guard, and she just isn't scared of anything, and she doesn't care if she gets blocked or not. She just goes for everything.
Trillian all the way and a foul. Going back to Liv Forster, her parents have made the way from Oldham to be here today, which is really good to see, and they'll be dropping her back to Ipswich afterwards before heading back up to the northwest. And as we mentioned at the top, a great 18th birthday for her, and celebrated it in style back home. And now the off-season begins, of course, here at the Rebound All-Stars. She'll also, I think, be taking place at the Hoops Fix All-Star Classic as well. So busy summer for Liv Forster.
She's also got GB to contend with
and that as well, yeah.
I mean, I know her name's in the ring for the initial training camps, and I have no doubt that she'll be in the main squad as well. No doubt at all.
Bedoya. Nice pass to Davids. Again looking for the extra pass. And Bedoya will reset. Bedoya again! As said, one of the
players. She's playing with them.
As said, one of the best passes in the league, as Forster misses the long three. Cleary driving at Forster.
Good pass.
And Bedoya will slow down. Instead, now she'll drive and nearly bank it in. It just rimmed out and the ball goes out of bounds. But Ganessa Bedoya getting the crowd on their feet here at Solent Sports Complex.
And the timeout is called, I'm assuming it's on Team Blue.
I think it is, yeah, Team Blue, yeah.
It's just a little green dot over in the
Team Cleary
on the scoreboard.
Leading 71-57, 149 remaining in the third quarter. And Team Cleary are, drifting away a little bit from Team Al-Shabrawy, who have had just a couple of broken offenses, and right now it's kind of like, Team Cleary have taken advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely. I think Team Cleary, like we said in the first half, have got that more team basketball. They're passing the ball a lot more. I think Team Blue, they have elements of it, but then, like we said, they get the ball down the court quickly, but then they rush that first shot. It's the initial slow it down, take your time and find the right shot rather than making the shot.
Definitely. And Lindsey Cleary and also Megan Dorney, they both are going.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it's the trio of Solent players that lead the way for Team Cleary at the moment. Megan Dorney has 12 points. Endine and Neverson both on 11. Liv Forster has 11, but Rashay Walton leading all scorers with 13. But as you say, There are a few double-double watches. Jess Davis actually has 10 rebounds to go with 3 points at the moment. And yeah, Faye Endine, who was 1 assist shy of a triple-double in the playoff final, has 11 and 5 boards. Dorney has 12 points, 7 rebounds at the moment.
I believe Lindsay has 9 boards.
And like Lindsay, yeah, Lindsay has 9
points.
boards as well, as Marquez turns the ball over with the travel. And Marquez, you know, returning to Worcester from a spell with the Gloucester City Queens in the WBBL, great experience for her, and obviously playing alongside close friend Inma Batista, who is now playing in Durham. As David's really rattled in the long two, and Threlian battles with it, and Bedoya has it. Nice pass to Davids. And Goodser with the rebound, and now she pushes it for Team Blue in desperate need of points. Davis lays it up and in. 5 points for Jess Davis. Bedoya. Trillian against 2 players. On the follow was Rawlings.
This is what the cup final was. She was going against everybody, and we were trying. We really tried.
Again, she goes up.
That's her experience. Like, she knows the game.
Yeah.
She's played at so many different levels. I think experience comes into it there, and she does love a little spin move.
I think Elan Trillian is now 1 point away from a double-double. I think that was her double-double there with those 2 rebounds. 29.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Team Cleary up 12. Rawlings stolen by Forster. Now Forster will slow it down. Finds Anderson a 3, that's short.
Again, though, trying to make the shot, like move the ball a little bit more.
Clary, shot clock turned off. Clary blocked by Goodser. Final seconds of the third. Jana has it, she's got a dance, and she does, but misses the layup. I think she wanted a foul, actually, but referees didn't blow, and that ends the third quarter, and Team Clary leads 71-59, a sizable lead, but you know, still all to play for, Chrissy.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We've still got 10 minutes to play, and 12 points we can go as players. That's nothing, really. So yeah, I think the team, like we said before, that Team Blue, they just need to take their time, play the shot clock, and just find the best solution, not the quickest solution.
That's a foul.
That's what Team Blue got to do now, is just slow it down a little bit and maybe just bring back some of the players that are the leaders. Like we might need Alia back on the court, and just to calm it down a little bit. And Rochelle Walton, like she's had a great start to the game, and she's been sitting for a long time now, so I'm assuming she'll be back on the court soon.
And Annie, as the fan club, is trying to get your attention over here on the commentary booth. Hey, it's an all-star game. Who cares? It's fine. Just backing up Chrissy's, very good point. Team Shabrawy shooting just 27% from the field as opposed to 40% for Team Clary. They've been the more composed team, and it reflects in the score, doesn't it? But still 1 more quarter to go. Everyone's game.
Yeah, definitely. I think the composure is the key element in this. Like we have said, and like Chrissy just said then, it needs to be moving the ball to find the right shot, not the shot or not trying to play hero, because in this game you don't need to play hero ball. You're all stars out there, so go and win it as a team.
Absolutely, and Al Shabrawy, who trails by 12, actually has the top 3 scorers in the WNBL in Fat Manta Jana, Liv Forster and Rochelle Walton. As Chris Hughes has joined us in the commentary booth for a second before he jogs off. Chris, thank you, by the way, for the food, by the way. that's the biggest cheer of the day. What have you made of the women's game so far, Chris?
Amazing. So this year, first last year, I'll be able to catch a lot more. Amazing. It's funny, at the same time, the Pete's tail out 5 texts either from players or volunteers saying, "Where's the food?" I'm like, "It's here, guys." I'm running around like a postman. But the game's been, I thought the game was really close at the start of the game. both teams played really well. Players seemed really happy. You know, played. The rest of them let a lot of things go. Like there was 1 or 2 players who made their game to start is that sort of type of game, and like Chris, the rest of be that. So I was like, no, there's quite a few other sports who like to getting a great game, and it's going to be really hard for me to choose an MVP shortly, but there's a few front runners for sure. And also shout out Alan Neverson, who's stepped in for this come on.
Absolutely, yeah.
See that I was literally just saying thanks. So she's doing amazing. Obviously, one of my lead volunteers. With social medias, graphics, and it's great to have a part of the All-Stars sort of injury to Eveleigh, which forces sort of an NBL All-Stars trade.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, we'll let you get off. I know you've got a lot doing. You're running like a headless chicken, I think. So we'll let you get off. Thank you very much for the food. And we will certainly, if Annie doesn't start it, we'll certainly be devouring it in a bit.
As well, more coming soon, and thank you guys for helping. And thank you everyone coming here. We're update literally just 10 seats short of selling out. I'm actually going to have to start selling the players' seats, and then I have to find laps to sit on, because I do get missed calls and people say, please see me seat. I'm like, I can't do everything. I've had like 28 notifications on WhatsApp, and not ignoring you, I'm just trying to...
Just not enough hours in the day, Chris, is there?
I keep saying people I need to be cloned 5 times. Anyway, I'll let you guys run the show, do the amazing job.
Thank you. Take care, Chris, as we are less than 2 minutes into the final quarter. Scorers remain the same. Team Pink with the ball. As both Annie and Chrissy are looking over the pizza, and I'm trying my best not to. Here is Neverson. I know, right?
You really can smell it.
Here is Trillian to Rawlings, driving baseline, goes over 2 players, and a foul.
No, I think
offensive.
Offensive.
Are they called offensive? Oh.
This was a tough.
She was in the no charge zone. I'm going to argue that one too. She was in the no charge zone. That was not offensive.
Telling you, these are so against referees.
I'm not having it. They're not solo referees.
I think I might need Hafiz Abdul back in the commentary booth. But a tough call, Rian Rawlings. That looked like a good bucket and a foul over 2 Al Shabrawy players. I think one of them was Saruna Gudza, but
There
either
was
way.
a bit of confusion there with the table as to whether to count the basket or not.
Yeah.
What is the rule? Is it? It's not. You don't count.
No, it
get
doesn't.
counted.
No, it won't be counted. So that bucket will not count. So the score remains 71-59, and another foul has been called. And
she actually just hit Florrie on the baseline, bless her.
Florrie Cotterill gets whacked on the head as well.
She won't be happy with that one. She'll say something after the game, I can guarantee it.
And as traditional with All-Star games, the final quarter just gets a little bit chippy, a little bit competitive, and sometimes tempers can start a little bit as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Team Blue, they want to just come back and just get it under 10, and then they can just see where they're going to go from there.
There you go, they got it to 10.
There it is, it's a 10-point game. Fatmata Jana at the foul line. Here is Rawlings. Rawlings finds a bit of room and banks it home. Pretty from Rian Rawlings.
She said, let me do it again.
Yeah, makes up for that basket from earlier that was waved off. Jana, catch and shoot 3, gets the backboard.
I think Team Blue here will just add the little bit of pressure in the half court. I think they're going to try and speed the Pinks up.
Trillian inside, off balance. Jana rebounds.
Oh no.
And Saruna Gudza came down hard.
It looked like she caught her Achilles a little bit.
There was a collision between her and Trillian, and
Coach Milligan is not happy with Fats there. Not entirely sure what that was about. Maybe shooting the 3.
It was very early in the shot clock.
Rebound.
Yeah, it was very early in the shot clock, and Coach Milligan does pride herself on offensive, methodical offensive play long into the shot clock, but again playing at a fast pace at the same time. I know it sounds like a bit of an oxymoron, but
it makes sense to us.
yeah. And
It's
again,
good to see though that this is her. I'm pretty sure that's her first season with the Barking Abbey.
Yeah, it
And
is.
she's a young coach and a female coach, so it's so nice to see
absolutely.
a female coach doing so well.
Yeah, and she's involved in the GB under-18s. She's assisting Karen Burton there this season again.
And she's assisting the WNBL.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
She's
one
doing
of
really, really well for herself.
absolutely.
Like our San Francisco just hit the deepest three we've had this game today.
Goodser looks to respond and does. Saruna Goodser now moves on to 8 points.
Meg Dorney and Faye Ending coming back in for Team Pink.
And Ganessa Bedoya and Rochelle Davids will take a seat.
And then you just had Kat Goldsby coming back in for Team Blue as well.
I think Saruna Goodser is taking a seat, as probably you would expect, given that she landed awkwardly earlier on. Here is Dorney. Cross-court pass to Goldsby, picks it off. Here's Al-Shabrawy, the extra pass and the finish from Goldsby. Great link-up play between the Loughborough Rider and the Thames Valley Cavalier.
But that's what we were talking about, that extra pass. Giving that extra pass gets you the easy basket.
Definitely.
Tullian. Great defense from Jana, and away comes Goldsby. Team Blue in a rhythm.
There you go.
And the
she's on
score there
now.
from Limoges.
Just one player left to get on there.
Come on, Anna.
It's an 8-point game now. This is getting
Ending.
interesting now.
Almost deja vu from last year, as Endine will go to the line. Limoges with the foul. That's her second. And Faye Endine, what more can you say about Faye Endine? MVP in the league, the playoffs.
Under 19 MVP.
Absolutely, yeah. An incredible season for her, and she just takes everything in her stride, and that's what's remarkable about a player so young that can be so mature and just take absolutely everything in their stride, not let the big occasion get to her.
Yeah, I think this year she's really grown maturity-wise. She's always been quite mature for her age, but this year she's really shown good leadership on the court, off the court. She's taken ownership a lot more this year as well. And it's so nice to see. It will be interesting to see what decision she makes about next year. I know that she's got a few options. So
I mean, I had coaches messaging me asking about her, so I'm just really
wicked.
Just nice. I just want to see her succeed. She's done so well.
Absolutely.
Like, from last season, losing 2 finals and like having a tough game, two tough games, and then this season just like smashing that final. Like you said, she was 1 assist away.
Yeah, one assist away. Yeah.
Like, this is amazing.
18 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. In an incredible
and she's only
effort.
19 years old.
Yeah.
she has a phenomenal career ahead of her, so it'll be, and she's come through the junior program, she's come all the way up. Coach Vicky Milner has had her, I want to say since an under 12, I'm sure she'll text me if I'm wrong, but she's seen her through this whole program, and it's so nice to have that end product in Faye.
Absolutely. And also doing very well academically as well, away from basketball as well, so
she's very clever.
certainly the future is bright for Faye Ending.
We also got our first double-double as Helen Drayden has 11 points and 13 rebounds.
There you go. And
You
it
said
came
she
off.
was close to it.
Came off that three-point play while we were talking about Faye Ending, as San Francisco nearly got the layup to go. Jess Davis with another rebound. Marquez gets Rawlings in the air and is long with her two-point attempt. That's Jess Davis's 11th rebound to go with 5 points. And here she is marking Ending. Ending finds Trillian.
That's a mismatch there.
And that is a mismatch with
A
Al
mismatch
Shabrawy.
that
But Al Shabrawy will fight
Came
that.
off.
Yeah.
came off for Team Blue.
3 to shoot.
What a tough take. What a tough take from Faye Ending.
So Faye Ending will go
goes
back
into-
to the line.
we've seen that a lot more this season, that Faye is willing to go for those tough takes. Last year she kind of shied away from the contact ever so slightly. She still went in for the contact, but this year she's like, hell no, I'm going for it. If I want that basket, I want it.
And she's strong this season as well. Like, she's playing on defense. She is tough.
So Lindsey Cleary back into the game for Team Cleary, and Elan Tulian will take a seat. And a number of Thames Valley players here today supporting Goldsby and Tulian, most notably Faith Okwoza, who is here today with her dog, one of the most adorable dogs you will ever find, whose name I did not catch. Here is Goldsby. Davis puts in a 2. Here is Endine. Endine dancing with Goldsby. Great defense there from Davis, and here comes Marquez. Caroline.
I was about to say, Megan got lucky she didn't get called for that, and then she got called for it.
So Carolina Marquez, who has already won an event here today, of course winning the skills challenge off of Faye Endine, denying Solent 2 straight skills challenge victories in
that
rebound history.
Was tough. Trying to get that ball through the small tunnel, and then Faye did it first time. I was like, I don't think she can do it twice in a row.
I will always remember the video I got off Molly Danielson that featured a certain Chrissy Karpova, actually.
What did you do? What did you do?
This was last season when we had to think of it.
It was her against Lauren Dabbs, and that exact part is exceeding difficult. And
yeah, I think it took us around 20 times to do it before she sent that video to you.
Of course, Molly Danielson enjoying life back home in Oregon, working with the Trailblazers.
Oh, definitely, yeah. She is a living life right now.
Dorney inside, great defense from Goldsby. Ball goes out of bounds.
That was great defense. That was a good block there. I don't think Dorney was quite expecting that level of defense.
So Bedoya and Davids come back in. San Francisco and Dorney will take a seat for Team Cleary. 3:44 remaining, gap is 8. Cleary leads by 80 to 72. Here is Endine. Endine, the runner on the shot clock buzzer, and Goldsby and Endine fighting for it. What you like to see in All-Star game.
Both laughing on the floor to each other as they roll back over.
Timeout called by Coach Stanley.
So Coach Stanley, and let's also just give props to Ben Stanley, a coach that, well, he used to be a player, a coach that, you know, was named Coach of the Year for the Kestrels, and we spoke, myself and Caroline spoke at the playoff final about how Solent had to adjust quite a lot this season with different coaches coming in and out, and getting the job done, getting the playoff crown as well as the league title. And it's been tough for all involved, but such a rewarding season, and you know, I'm sure Chrissy can probably accept this, probably one of the more deserved league and playoff doubles we'll see in the Solent Kestrels with what they've had to go through this season.
Yeah, massively. I think we figured it out when we were at playoffs. That was Coach Stanley's first ever playoffs, and he managed to take it with a team that he wasn't officially the head coach for. We also learned that he did over 80 games this season. That's with the men, the women and Bucks. He did both Bucks men and women as well. So I think hats off to Coach Stanley. He's done a phenomenal job with both the men's and the women's, because we know the men's had a massive restructure, but the job he did with the women's and gaining the trust in all the players, and actually the coaching staff he brought in, the girls adjusted so well to whichever coach they had on the day.
And you can't argue with that, can you? Just a great accomplishment for Ben Stanley.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, he did that in Nottingham last season and coached both men and women, and he's just come here and done the same thing.
Absolutely. Well, he voluntarily took over the women's team, but obviously was contracted to the men, and upon getting the job, he was actually in Leeds at a basketball camp, and
He was with me.
yeah, with you. I was going to just about say with Matt Newby and a certain Annie Scanlon,
And Anna Neverson was there.
and Anna
too.
Neverson. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were both there. We're all going back this year as well, actually. so
Absolutely.
that'll
Oh,
be
good to
fun.
hear. Bringing the South Coast flair to Yorkshire. Of course, that is Anna Neverson's home county as well, as Goldsby strips it off Endine, pulls up for 2, and that's money.
And that's what Goldsby likes to do. She gets her steal and she goes for that.
We are now down to a 6-point game.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is getting interesting, guys. 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes to go. And it's a 6-point game.
Endine, a 3. Money.
And she
But
goes.
then they didn't give that foul to her. And she was like, let me just take that 3 then.
36. 36% for the season. Endine from downtown, actually second in the league, behind Carolina Marquez, as Al Shabrawy will come back into the game for Team Blue. And we are getting to that important stage now where you could see the marking is getting tighter, the defense is getting more physical, as you could see there, Goldsby all over Rochelle Davids. Here is Rawlings. Endine going at El Shabrawy. Bedoya, 6 to shoot. Pulls up for 2. And Davis again with the rebound. 14 rebounds now for Jess Davis.
And only 3 points.
Excuse me, 12 rebounds, excuse me, as Jana goes all the way for 2. And it is a 7-point game. Final 2 minutes of the Women's All-Star game here at the Rebound All-Stars event. Cleary in the elbow. Doesn't get it to go. Rawlings with the offensive board.
It's cool.
That was clever basketball there. She knew Jenna was right behind her, so she just pumped it a little bit. We see that a lot. You love one of those, don't you? You love a little pump fake and then going to score, drawing the foul, and she did it perfectly.
That's 8 rebounds for Rhian Rawlings to go with 9 points. And 4 of those have been offensive rebounds, and you can put up another one there. And as we mentioned, big shoes to fill for Angela Ruskin in the absence of Katrin Kuhl, but Rhian Rawlings has certainly filled those shoes quite well, and another playoff appearance for Angela Ruskin this season.
Yeah, definitely. And well, we played them, and we were 4 and 5. They were 5th, and it was.
Oh, good grief! Al Shabrawy and Clip, the 2 captains.
Everyone's okay there.
Both of them laughing it off. Well, Al Shabrawy not so much.
Al Shabrawy wants a foul called there, actually.
Al Shabrawy not so much.
Trying to say she came over the back, but actually they have changed that rule, as I learned this year when I was coaching and I was screaming it. And got told off.
Goldsby a 3 off the back iron. And the ball goes out of bounds. But yeah, no, again, just a great season for Angela Ruskin. Again, another playoff spot for them.
Yeah, definitely. And when we played them, it was tough. Like we had a loss and a win, and then we went and played that playoff game, and yeah, it was a shaky start for her, but then we picked it up from the third quarter, and then just got to the semi-final. But they are a very good team, and they've got a new coach as well.
Yep.
So
yeah, the assistant coach.
Ben Naylor,
Team Pink
Today's
today.
assistant coach. Yeah, absolutely.
So having so many changes in a team, for them to get to the 5th spot was really good.
Yeah, really good with
Sure.
Coach Lloyd obviously heading off to the London Lions as part of the assistant coaching team alongside Coach Milligan, and we have 1:25 remaining, and still anybody's game. Team Cleary leads 83-76 over Alia Shabrawy Team Blue, who I'm sure don't want to go 0-2 in Rebound All-Star games. And so far, they have 1:25 to bring the game back to force overtime or even get a win. It happened last year.
I think knowing Coach Milligan now, she's going to be asking for them to put all the effort on the defensive end. They need to get the ball back. They need to be a little bit scrappy but composed with it. They need the ball to then go down the other end. So she'll be asking a lot from the defensive side here.
Definitely, yeah. And they've been pressing for a few minutes now, so and up they go again. Or is that their ball?
It is their
It
ball.
is their ball, yeah.
Knowing Coach Milligan, they'll be looking for a 3 off this one, or an and-1.
1:25 remaining. Here is Al Shabrawy. Walton, a 3. That's long, and that came off Goldsby last. Faye Endine was looking for it to go out of bounds anyway.
You were right there, Annie. They did go for the 3-pointer.
Straight away as well.
I'm lucky to
Nearly
know
got
Coach
the steal.
Milligan for years.
Davids on the floor as Goodser and Goldsby were all over, and I think a travel has actually been called.
Oh.
Jump ball.
Jump ball, sorry.
It is jump
Yeah,
ball,
jump
yeah.
ball.
And it is
For some reason I thought the possession arrow went the other way. It didn't, did it? So here is Goldsby. Gets a fadeaway to go. 5-point game with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining. Bedoya. And Bedoya is fouled. That's probably one play you'd like to have with the ball in the final minutes. A very composed point guard, Ganessa Bedoya. And a good three-throw shooter as well.
She's going for those free throws, guys.
No player played more minutes for the Barking Abbey London Lions than Ganessa Bedoya last season. And has showed great flair here today.
She was giving the crowd something to look at with some of her passes
Absolutely,
today.
yeah.
I mean, I got a message from one of my players saying, number 12, her passes are insane. So, yeah, she is very good with the ball.
Absolutely, and a bit of a commentator's curse. A very good foul shooter, but Bedoya misses the first and misses the second. But the offensive rebound from Rochelle Davids, big rebound for her and for Team Cleary. Rawlings, Bedoya. They will slow it down. 4 to shoot though, so they've got to put up something. Rawlings puts it up, puts it in! Huge from Rhian Rawlings.
That was a great shot.
A clutch bucket for her and for Team Cleary. And a 3-second violation has been called on Al Shabrawy. And you've got to believe that huge basket from Rhian Rawlings might have just done the trick.
Yeah, I would say so. You can see Coach Milligan just bringing Foster back into the game now. They're going to look to, if I was the coach, I'd be looking for Liv to get the 3-point shot off right now. We know she's hot on those today, hitting 2 back-to-back.
Definitely.
3 overall today for Forster. Rawlings. Did that come off of Al Shabrawy?
I thought it came
Al
off
Shabrawy.
it came off her foot.
Al Shabrawy was really colourful with that and let Pete Terrell, the referee, know about it as well.
I think all 3 of us agreed on that one, though.
Endine, Rawlings, Davids. And Rawlings again with the offensive rebound, and now the fouls are coming in.
That was a jump ball again. Jump ball called again.
Good grief.
It's like a junior game. How many jump balls can you have in a game?
Well, while we're here, we're actually going to bring in Worthing Thunder's Hafiz Abdul, who has just joined us in the commentary box. Hafiz will be joining me for the dunk contest. What have you made of this women's game so far? It's been entertaining, hasn't it?
Yes, very entertaining. Each year it's picked up, I guess, so it's really been fun to watch. Go watch it from the players' room upstairs, and with some pizza too, so I appreciate that.
Oh, that reminds me, actually, yeah. So, just a quick thought on today's men's All-Star game, your second one. It's going to be an absolutely thrilling contest as you joining up with your teammates as well, with Andre Aerosol, Ronald Blaine.
Yeah, definitely going to be a lot of fun. Playing against the other guys too. It's really lined up to be kind of like a north and south. So
yeah,
again, a lot of pride in the line, and you definitely want to show that it's going to be a good competition, make it fun for the fans, make them a part of it, and yeah, man, it should be a great atmosphere.
Absolutely, and good to have you on board. Of course, first you'll be watching the dunk contest that will be taking place at the conclusion of this game, provided, of course, that it doesn't go to overtime. 12.5 seconds left as Team Cleary leads 85-78. Rawlings. It's just a case of hold the ball now, really, for Team Pink, isn't it?
Yeah, keep possession of the ball, no silly passes, move the ball around.
And I think that will do it.
And they've got it.
As Bedoya and Jess Davis fight over the loose ball, but that ends a enthralling women's all-star game here at Solent Sports Complex. Team Cleary getting the job done, 85-78. Faye Endine leading all scorers with 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Megan Dorney following close behind with 14 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double for Megan Dorney. And of course for Team Al Shabrawy, leading the way for them. In fact, leading all scorers was Kat Goldsby, excuse me, it wasn't Faye Endine, it was Kat Goldsby with 17 points and Rochelle Walton with 13. But a great advert for the WNBL and for British basketball. What a game we've just witnessed.
Yeah, massively. It shows how much this league has grown within the past 2 seasons, and hopefully from this we can keep growing and we can keep showing the games next season with more commentary and more live streams throughout the league.
Absolutely. And Chrissy, who's your early thought for MVP? There you go. I'll put you on the spot.
You know what? I think I want to say Faye Endine, because
you're going Faye Endine.
Yeah, Faye Endine did really she had a great game.
Okay.
But as well, Helen had 14 rebounds and 11 points. That's a really good stats as well. So, and she had her 3 fouls really early at the start of the game, so she missed the first half of the game. So I'm not sure who's Chris going to pick.
Well, Chris Hughes has the all-important decision as selected media members taking pictures with Team Blue, and Team Pink will follow, and Alia Shabrawy in the traditional right at the front pose. Huge smile on her face. But unfortunately for her, 0-2 in Rebound All-Star games. But it's not about the win or losing. And Megan Dorney gets MVP.
Yeah, she does deserve it. She does.
Absolutely. Well, Faye Endine led the way, but Megan Dorney, what a performance from her. 14 points, 9 rebounds. It was not 10. That's been taken away. And Chris Hughes now posing with Megan Dorney. MVP Megan Dorney of the Women's All-Star Game, following in the footsteps of Katrin Hjulm. And just like Katrin Hjulm, this will be her final performance here in this country before she heads back off to the States or on to pastures new, wherever she may end up.
I think she is going back to the States, but then I don't think she knows what her plan is when she gets back there. Or if she hasn't shared it with us yet.
So congratulations to Team Cleary, who ran out 85-78 winners over Team Al Shabrawy, as Kat Goldsby led all scorers with 17 points for Team Al Shabrawy, but it was Megan Dorney who got MVP, 14 points, and Faye Endine with 16 points. Congratulations again to Team Cleary. My thanks to Chrissy Karpova and to Annie Scanlon, who will no doubt enjoy the men's game coming up. It is due to tip off at around 6 o'clock, but it might be a little late running, just in case the dunk contest overruns. I think Ray Akbafuri is waiting to get the MVP Megan Dorney in just a second. But just finally, Chrissy, the end to a great WNBL season. We can now officially say this was the final game of the WNBL season, and what a season it has been.
Yeah, definitely. This has been just so nice to see how much each team has grown. Like we just said earlier about how the media is starting to get so much better, like the Instagrams, the Twitters, Facebook. So it's so nice to see how each team they're just upping their game, and yeah, it's been a great season, and we're looking forward to the next season for sure.
Absolutely. So Ray is courtside. He does not have Megan though with her. It's Faye Endine who has decided to join the party. So Ray just having a quick word with Faye, but Ray, it's all yours. Take it away. Faye is with Faye Endine.
Hey, I'm back again. I'm here with Faye Endine. Talk me through that game. How was it for you?
Well, it started off like okay for our team, as you can see the score, but then they started coming back, and we played the game to bed in the end, so it was good. Yeah.
How about your performance today? How did you feel about how you played today?
Yeah, I feel like I played quite well, but it's always good to everyone getting touching the ball, everyone getting their points. That's what this game's about.
Of course. And how about the atmosphere for the day? Like, how does it feel being around all of these people just showing you love the way that they have been today?
Also, especially for the women's game, it's like really good for women's basketball in this country. Like to see this many people and like the atmosphere is pretty great.
Coming again next year?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
If
Okay,
I'm in
cool.
this league next year.
All right, cool. Faye, absolute pleasure. Good job today.
Thank you.